Hello, everybody. I think we can get started, right? Can somebody give me an okay?
Yeah, we are starting. Yes, Aisha, go ahead.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to all of you. Today, our main guest speaker is ALlanys Maria DUARTE, and we welcome you. She's an ISEC member and ICMBIO volunteer and environmental educator and international speaker from Brazil. We are honored to have her to deliver today's session on sustainable cities and resilient infrastructure. Thank you, ma'am, for honoring us, and you have the floor.
Thank you all for the invite. I was profoundly touched by it. I decided not to create a presentation for today, so everybody could actually enjoy it. I was inspired by my great uncle who is blind and who is living in 2025 without too much stimuli or anxiety. So that's what I want to everybody. So I hope that's okay. Will be just a talk. That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Well, I'm ALlanys. There is an African proverb that is highly used in Brazil due to its roots. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. And that's why I came because despite I've been a better listening throughout all my life, this is what I want to get together with people who is like-minded with me. So that's it. Well, again, my name is ALlanys. I'm a building technician, a forever student, a successful digital marketing specialist for 7 years now. And I even worked for Meta in the end of this career. This should be the climate of my career, right? Well, in my last meeting, actually, my boss asked me what I would do for free, and I laughed at him. But in the first morning of 2025, I was collecting trash on the beaches, apologizing for our species. So something inside clicked. Another isolated event. Last week, I went running because I'm trying to stop smoking by running, and I caught tractors destroying homeless tents from my neighborhood's landfill. So I hate people, don't get me wrong, but social services won't even let them live in the rubbish dump, even though housing is a constitutional right. So I saw them with their hiring machine tearing down homes. That's something that I even started to process now, but yet their plants, animals, and all was abandoned to their fate or to whoever defy the tractors for them. And who are you, anyways? The mid Brazilian COP 30 or the one in Brazilian Constitution, for example? Or this, the overcharged for housing, food, human dignity, or worth, even? Sustainable cities and resilient infrastructure for who? How? When? Well, years ago, I dreamed up a solution with my best friend, community gardens in the peripheries. We even applied for a grant, but we didn't get it. This was before I knew about bureaucracy. Today, I work and study public administration and discovered that here in Brazil, bureaucracy was created out of the need to stop being such a colony and to divide opportunities equally, such as public office. Today, bureaucracy touches everything and solves nothing, as do the pillars of the public administration, LIMPI. meaning clean, limpy, legal, impersonal, moral, public, and efficient. Is your government like this? Because certainly not mine. While I hear the sound of tractors cleaning up the life out of the rubbish dump, I see that the acronyms is more accomplished than its meaning, right? So I want to reforest cities. This is what create resilient cities, reforestation. Even if it means using seed bombs, but with my degree in public administration after three other colleges, I infiltrated in the environment secretariat of the neighborhood city, Contagem, as an intern, one with a policy that I see behind the desk in favor of what I believe in. It's an armored piece. Baby plants, seeds, and all the poo my rabbit can produce for the tomorrow. I also joined an association that aims to transform an old rubbish dump into a park, restoring it, redecorating with ponds and ducks, suggestively called Lagoa dos Patos, the Duck Lake. It exists and it's running, up and running. And I have the honor of coordinating their annual fruit tree event with the certificates for local children so they can have space to play with free, secure access, due its public and communitary character of the park itself. I mean, in my country, the climate question is still cultural. We have all the rest material, land, and human capital, even for closing our borders. But we are divided. We are divided as a nation, and our because of our philanthropies, unlike others around the globe, feel like they won despite of the system, not because of it. Our middle class pays the most taxes, and the rest are fighting for the bread of each day. The only thing common with all Brazilians is being oblivious of the environment. So that's why here, please tell me more about your countries. Here is necessary to join the cause with social interests and needs. My project may seem like welfare, but it is the only way that every species can survive today. This post Darwin natural selection being so human, right? So the agroforest seed and knowledge spread create climate protected islands where environmental racism and demographic density grows more, giving the poor access to environmental education, real food, and access to green areas, important for mental health and exercising, right? But how does it actually work? Well, we start where everything starts, right? The schools. Those inclined to ecology at first. We provide some workshops of selective collection, composing, water bodies, and seeds, asking suggestions around for possible agroforests. After a technical study of the areas the kids suggested and partners for the project, public and private, we can choose and evolve for the elderly. After a visit on site with them and the technicians, so we already developed something with the kids, we move on to the elderly, and so the technicians will do this visit on site so we can develop a diagnosis and create a restoration plan. Lastly, we can call the exhausted moms for planning and planting inauguration day. So they finally contemplate a space for their parents to exercise and socialize, an environment for the children to use their energy, and a way to feed the family. Sorry. So why does this matter, right? The everyone in this specific rhythm getting into the project. Why does it matter? The last IBGE poll, IBGE, it's a well-respected government publication and research here in Brazil institution. Well, the last one poll discovered that half of my country is now considering themselves parts of families run by women. A big national trend. They are the bosses. They decide between traveling or buying an air conditioner, for example. And if they adopt the cows, we are saved. That's the pool. So I'm offering them organic family, urban food tradition, mental health, family bond, and exercise in exchange for their management. Because really, they are the guardians of this family, and so they can be guardians of the agroforest we are building together. This is the ideal, the natural thing. So don't get me wrong. Once again, I don't like people, but I don't like to think that we have other options. I mean, creating an environmentally positive projects that doesn't represent socially and the nature itself and the marine life, they all can be together. So this is the idea. But if you know any other way to solve the problems, I would love to hear. Because in the city, we are never alone. We are never alone, but we feel so lonely, right? But globally, as this community you are building here, we can really, really be together. Like the Asian turtle in Kung Fu Panda once said, yesterday is history, tomorrow a mystery, but now is a gift. And now is you and me, young people building together a future we want to live in. Well, thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I don't
So,
know if my English was clear enough. I'm sorry for
no,
it. This is my first
it
time.
was so clear enough, and thank you so much for sharing the insights that were so valuable.
Yes. So before moving towards question and answer session, I believe that thank you so much for your speech, Ms. ALlanys Maria Duarte, and it was like your real life experiences which you shared with us, and related to like some of the projects which you did, some independently, some with your friends, related to sustainable cities and all that. So definitely, this comes under, the SDG that cover the sustainable cities and resilient infrastructure. And I think all these issues are happening across the globe. When we see the
Yes,
administration, when we see the bureaucracy, it is same everywhere. So, I mean, there are very few of the bureaucracies or governments which are seriously concerned about their citizens, no matter if you are living in a developing country or a developed country, if you are living in a global north or global south, it is same everywhere. You know, so I mean, yes, definitely these are the challenges we all have to go through. But I would again say that when we talk about the resilient infrastructure, or when we talk about the sustainable communities, so it's not always about the governments, or it's not always about those who are in high authorities, because most of the time all these things are interlinked with each other. I mean, businessmen, if you see, they are part of it. If you see the bureaucracy, if you see the government, if you see the youth, if you see the academics, your experts, uh, your think tanks, I mean, all these things are interlinked with each other. and I mean they contribute in it. Either they are contributing positively or negatively, but somehow they are interlinked with that. When we talk about the solarization, we have the presidency of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, our presidency where our president lives, and every matter of our like president, when we see that, so it is the first presidency that is solarized. We have other chamber of commerces as well, especially the Rawalpindi chamber of commerce and Faisalabad chamber of commerce. So these two chamber of commerces, they are totally solarized, and I mean they are now developing the sustainable offices, the businessmen, so they are contributing in it. If we see at the government level, they are doing it in the same way. uh, Miss, you had given an example of the decoration of a park and everything like that. So all these things are going on in our country as well, especially if we see in Karachi, the mayor of Karachi, he is doing a great job in that regard. I mean, they are, I mean, doing these kind of things like decorating you can say the lanes, the roads, and also they are developing some parks. They are also establishing some, you can say, playgrounds for the young people. So yeah, they are doing it, and also they are trying to uh, shift it to the renewable energy. So I mean, yes, they are doing it, but the main concern is that the citizens, the young people, they are not aware of it. If we talk about the green offices, why green offices are important, why solarization is important, why we have to shift from traditional to non-traditional aspects, and why it is important for us, because we don't have to totally rely on those, like we can say, like oil, gas, other fossil fuels you have. So we cannot totally rely on them, and for how long? I mean, for 50 years, for 100 years, because these resources, I mean, they are also decreasing as the time passes. These resources are also decreasing as well. So we need to see how we can shift to the renewable energy, how we can solarize our offices, how we can promote the green offices, as we say, how we can promote the sustainable cities. How it will be possible, because it's not only the job of a government or bureaucracy, but it also our job as well, as as a young person or as a youth representative. What we can do, we need to aware the people, we need to aware that why it is important for us right now, why sustainable cities are needed, because we have seen, if I can give you the example of my country, in my country there are houses that are horizontal. So there are no high rise buildings from last many years. But recently we have seen that now we are seeing the high rise buildings, we are seeing the apartments, we are seeing the this kind of development, because they are saying, okay, if we go for the high rise buildings, if we go for the vertical apartments, it is good, we can accommodate many people there. And also we have seen a wave of solarization in the recent years. Now people are installing the solar panels on their houses, they are installing the solar panels on their shops. If they own the offices, they are installing the solar panels there. So I mean, this is the one thing. So I mean, we are seeing a little change in the system, but again, awareness is needed. There are a lot of things we can do, but as a youth representative, as a young person, I would say that wherever needed, we have to contribute our part, and we have to inform and aware the citizens, we have to inform and aware the young people, the students from colleges and universities, that why it is important, and if we don't do so, what will be the implications and how it is impacting our lives, and what will be the future then. without this. So I think that's my take on it. I'll not be taking much of the time. So we will be moving towards question and answer session. Yeah, if Miss Alains Maria Duarte, if you want to add something, that would be good. Or we will be moving towards question and answer session. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is something that I've been studying for a while now. The question of solar panels. It's a problem because we still doesn't know how to recycle them. We didn't know what to do after their time is up. And that's a problem because here in Brazil, in my state, Minas Gerais, in the south part of it, we have solar farms. So what we are doing is devastating the nature itself. Well, the trees, the old trees, centenary trees, so we can build farms, big farms of solar panels. So here is becoming a problem, these kinds of thinking. And we don't have a solution for it because it's kind of like an ecological solution, but it's actually turning into a problem in my state. So it's hard because when you're trying to do some good, that's why I didn't bring the solar panels to my speech because it's something dual yet. We don't know how to deal with these problems that are coming up right now about this technology. But I saw somebody with their hands up and somebody gave up. That's it.
So yes, now we would be moving towards the question and answer session. Um, all those willing to ask can raise their hands.
Sorry.
Yes, Wasim wants to ask a question. Yes, Wasim, go ahead.
Yes, first of all, we all are thankful to the Youth Diplomacy Forum to provide such kind of the interaction and the lectures, informative lectures. But my question is, if sustainable demands long-term thinking, how can elected governments working on the 5-year terms like Pakistan be held accountable for long-term resilience planning?
So, I mean, this question you asked from me or Miss Alanis Maria Duarte?
Sir, anyone can answer.
Question is directed to
I think, as far as Pakistan is concerned, I'll be giving a very short and brief answer to that, and then we will be moving towards our speaker. As far as you talked about the government, because, when we see there is like, for example, maybe 5 years of government of any political party, they are coming for 5 years, sometimes even 3.5 years. So what happens is that you are saying that if there will be, like, what will be the policy for this, because when the government changes. So my point is that that these kind of policies, whatever it is, either it's about the sustainable development, it's about the any other development that's taking place in a country, these policies should be above the government level. This should be at the state level. That no matter which government is holding the power, who is coming to the power, these policies will not change. Because if as if it is in the interest of the country, it means that it is a state interest. And if it is a state interest, then no matter who is governing the country, this is not going to change. So I think we cannot link the policies with the government only, that if the government changes, the policy is also going to change. But unfortunately, yes, you are right, this happens all the time, that when the new government comes, they change their policies and they come up with the new ideas. So I mean, yes, if anything that is good for the country, if anything that is good for the society, for the people, for the environment, and there is a proper planning for that, maybe for 50 years plan, a 30 years plan, then that should be the state interest, not just the government interest, so that it can be preserved and it should be followed accordingly above the government. So this is what I have to say.
Yes, Miss ALlanys, you have the floor.
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know about the policies in your country. This is something new to me, but actually the creation of multiple things that should be environmental by now, like the solar panels and the e-bikes and all the other creations, are really giving something to us to talk about because we really doesn't have any control over what we will rise from this conversation in the high governments, because really it's something we don't actually know how to deal with. Here in Brazil, actually, we are doing some researches so we can develop the round cycle of things. So the legislation occurs supporting, for example, well, if the battery has 5 years of living, we can recover it for you and give you a grant so you can turn it into, for example, a new electrical car, because this will guarantee the consumer that this is going to a nicest place than just the trash dump, and actually giving him some rights to he receive discounts and stuff, so we can be an environmentally happily government. But I don't think that's something every country are doing right now. That's why I am a true believer that things about the environment should be global, because it's a global problem, and so it should be a global solution. So that's why I believe it's so important, this thing we are doing here together today. Anyways, sorry for the brief presentation. I hope it's okay. Is there any other doubts, questions?
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Musawwir and ma'am, for such an clear analytical answer. Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing them.
I think we don't have any further questions, but you
Yeah.
know, I'll be adding few things in it, as our speaker clearly mentions, and I think it's a great thing. For example, if we talk about the electric bikes, because I am also like witnessing or observing from last few months that on the streets of Islamabad there are so many e-bikes, and it's a good thing. But again, this is a question, like, if the battery that is used in that e-bike, if it lasts for example 3 years or 5 years, so after that 5 years, how that will be utilized, like what's going to happen with that battery? Is it reused, recycled, it anything in anything else? Then it's a good thing. So I that is definitely a concern as well. And also same goes for solar panels as well. Like, what's the I mean, I don't know exactly, like, for the solar panels, how long it can go. Maybe, I don't know, 50 years, 30 years, I'm not sure about it. But yes, after that particular time, what's going to happen with that? I mean, we are going to throw it in a trash, or we are going to recycle it for another purposes. So that is definitely a concern as well. And I agree with what our speaker mentioned. So yes, these are some of the questions. And again, yes, definitely the global solutions are needed. When I was giving the example of Pakistan, because the question was related to the administration, the question was related to the government. So that's why I tried to answer according to that. But definitely, all these issues we are facing, like climate change, and because of the climate change, we are facing the severe flooding in Pakistan. There are some other changes as well because of the climate change, like we are seeing the severe weather changes. In the winters, like, we are witnessing a different kind of winter. It is, a bit, I can say, cold, not too cold, not too hot, but people are getting affected, like same like me. I'm also getting affected because of the weather. So same goes for other people as well. So I mean, the weather changes, and just because of the weather changes, it is affecting our health. And the same goes for the summers as well. So I mean, because of the climate change, it is affecting our lives as well, our health problems and everything. But yes, if we shift from to the renewable energy, if we shift to the electric vehicles, or I was checking out, uh, um, I would like to also suggest our speaker as well to check out that our Chief Minister Punjab, Miss Mariam Nawaz Sharif, she has launched electric train, electric bus in the Lahore. Lahore is one of our city. It's a very traditional and historical city. So our Chief Minister of Punjab, she has launched a electric train. So I think this is a new development as well. Same goes for Karachi as well. I mean, the Sindh government, they have also launched some of the special trains, electric trains. So I mean, these kind of initiatives, they are taking from time to time. But again, the idea is that after, maybe if they last for 50 years, what's the outcome after that? I mean, how we are going to recycle that commodity or that product. So that is definitely a concern. Many good things are happening. It is good for environment as well, but again, awareness is needed, and we need to inform our young people, our young participants as well. That's why we are here today, and we have invited speaker from Brazil. Oh, why we invited you? Because Brazil recently hosted COP30, Conference of Parties 30th, that was held in Belém. So that's why we invited you here, and because we all are going through these impacts of climate change, and COP30 was hosted by Brazil. So that's why we invited you as a speaker in our today's program. So thank you so much once again for joining our session today. If you would like to add any closing points, and then we will be ending up our session.
Perfect. So I would like to raise my flag once again about agroforest. It's something we created here and it's working greatly. And that's why I'm raising my other flag of parks and islands when the climate can get a rest, so it won't be too hot, it won't be too cold in the cities, in the urban grounds. We have to build more parks, and if you have difficulties like raising these trees and creating these eco-friendly spaces, turning to agroforest systems, because we do had these problems years ago and we solve it in this way, agroforest systems. And like once again, and other thing is that, well, we won't be resilient until we can all agree to some things. And once we need we create these ideas of what tomorrow can be, we can all run through these objectives. And the last but not least, COP30, this was one of the most difficult COP30s ever done before. Actually, this is an opinion of an South African reporter that was here and said this. It was awful because we had floodings, high temperatures, and the presence of military all the time, because really it's not a safe country. Mine, it's suffering greatly with the climate changes, because really we are not prepared for anything. The houses doesn't have either conditioner or heating systems, so we are out of the blue creating this space for COP30 as we were able to do it, but actually it was created above the difficulties, not because Brazil is anything in this sense. So I really hope someday we can go back here and solve the things and create a global environmental government together so we can create goals we will actually follow together. But the next COP30, I just discovered that will be in Turkey and Australia, and they will solve the things about oil and the other things that Musawe was talking about earlier. So I actually have more hope in the next COP30, 32 actually, than this one in Brazil because really we weren't able to create the event itself climately safe, let alone the policies we say we will agree to do for the next years. I would love to be more hopeful about my country, but actually that's it. That's my thing. I really believe we should create something together because if it's about Brazil, we are kind of doomed. That's why my projects doesn't depend on governments and stuff. My projects are community goals and community effort and some public spaces where we can grow agroforest and these parks because really well, that's it. Thank you all for your time and for the invite.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Mr. Musawar. I really appreciate this initiative for the sustainable cities, and I think that other than all the initiatives, we have seen a shift in the policy, the policies of the cities in building the infrastructure. The horizontal infrastructure turned into vertical infrastructure. I'm myself witnessing a push in this policy. And other than it, many public transports are being introduced. This is a great initiative and the Sustainable Cities project. Thank you so much, ma'am and Mr. Musawar.
Thank you so much once again. And we have to end up our today's session. And then tomorrow we will be having another speaker from Germany with another new topic we are having. So today was the eighth day, I believe. Yeah. So 8 of our sessions are successfully completed, and we are left with few more. So we will have total 14 sessions, and last session on 15th day, like on 5th of December, we are having a seminar. So we are having some online sessions in upcoming days. So thank you once again to our speaker, to our host, and to our participants as well for joining today's session. Thank you so much and take care.